When you first started working at EB, what did you think about it?
Bottom line is, a very warm community.
Okay. What is the history of EB?
EB was founded by immigrants from the island of Rhodes, Sephardic immigrants.
It started about 1910 initially as a Keilah, and basically again to accommodate the unique traditions, customs, and pronunciation and tunes that the new immigrants were used to hearing from the island of Rhodes.
Okay. What is an interesting memory from EB?
It was the summer of 2011, and I was talking about Tisha B'Av, but I didn't pronounce it exactly the way Victor Al-Hadaf wanted me to pronounce it. I pronounced it Tisha B'Av, which is the Ashkenazic way of pronouncing it. And he came to me afterwards, and in his inimitable fashion, he put his arm around me and said, Rabbi Myers, that was a great shiur, but it sounded like fingernails on a blackboard. To which I said, what do you mean fingernails on a blackboard? You know when someone scratches their fingernails on a blackboard, or rakes some pavement and then you get the shivers? So for him, not pronouncing it exactly as it should be pronounced according to the Sfaradim was very upsetting to his ears. So he was telling me the content was good, but I have to learn how to speak in a manner of Sfaradim. So I worked on that from then on. But that was my initiation into EB.
What's your first or favorite memory from EB?
My first memories would be that as a very, very small child, taking my father's hand and walking to Keilah.
What was your initial reaction to your dad becoming Chazan for Ezra B'Serach?
I was not born when my dad became Hazan for Ezra B'Serach, because if I'm not mistaken, just from memory, I believe that was 1917, and I was born many years after that.
What is the story of your dad becoming Chazan?
My understanding, again, I was not there, was that when he came into town, there was no Hazan, there was no one available to read the Parashah. And my father indicated that he was very familiar with reading Parashah, and that would not be a problem for him. So they retained him.
How has the congregation changed from when it first started?
Well, it's changed in many ways. The main way it's changed is that the population, the founders of EB, which were Rhodey's lead descendants, a lot of them are no longer with us because it started, of course, in the early 1900s, and those people have since passed away. But even as recently as maybe 20 years ago, the bulk of the people in the congregation were descendants of Rhodey's lead immigrants, and now we have more of a mixed population where people, Sfaradim married Ashkenazim, people who are not Rhodey's lead but are Sephardic from let's say Israeli backgrounds, Moroccan backgrounds, and then we have a lot of Gerim, a lot of converts who've gone through the synagogue over the past number of years. So it's more of a heterogeneous group.
Well, we are still committed to maintaining the traditions and the alachot and the pronunciation and the tunes as they were practiced and were used on the island of Rhodes. That currently we do have a membership that includes many individuals who were not from the island of Rhodes but enjoy and appreciate our unique culture.
How has the congregation changed from when you first started working here?
That the congregation is a little more in touch with day-to-day issues in Israel and things that impact the Jews outside of Seattle.
What is something not a lot of people know about EB?
That I truly think that we are the warmest, the friendliest Keilah around.
But I think that people don't appreciate the degree to which work is done on a day-to-day basis behind the scenes. Okay.
What do you think about this quote? The more you know about the past, the better you are prepared for the future.
I think it's very true. The Torah says, "Zochor yemot olam," remember the days of past. Binu shnot dor vador, contemplate what happened over generations. Shal avicha v'yagercha zekinecha v'yamru lach. Ask your elders, and they'll tell you, and your father, and he'll tell you, and your elders, and they will explain to you. Meaning, you can't possibly understand who you are unless you understand the past.
This is the lobby of Ezra B'Serach. The stained glass was from the original synagogue in 1917. This is the Midrash, where smaller services are held with lower attendance. The lights are the memorial plaques. This is the main sanctuary. That's the Island of Rhodes and various tributes to the Islands of Rhodes. Tree of Life, the social hall, the patio. That's a memorial to the victims of the Holocaust. That mosaic is based on the style of the tiles on the floor in the Island of Rhodes synagogue. These are photos of a historic nature from the synagogue. That's a photo of Shoshana's grandfather, Reverend Bihar. Next to him, the prior Hazan, Chaim de Leon. That's Rabbi Israel, one of the last chief rabbis of Rhodes. That's Rabbi Greenberg, one of the earlier rabbis at Ezra B'Sereth. That's Rabbi Isidore Kahan, who became the rabbi of Ezra B'Sereth in 1939. That's the Wall of Presidents. That's the Wall of Presidents of Our Lady's Auxiliary.